The station was eerily quiet, the usual bustle of commuters replaced by an unsettling silence. As I sat on the bench, I noticed a figure in the shadows watching me. I tried to ignore it, attributing the unease to my overactive imagination, but the feeling of discomfort grew with each passing second. The bus finally pulled in, and I hurried aboard. Relieved to be leaving the desolate station behind, I glanced out the window as the bus pulled away. I saw the figure step into the light. It was a man, his face pale and his eyes sunken. He had a gaunt, almost skeletal appearance. He smiled at me, a twisted, unnatural grin that sent a chill down my spine. I quickly looked away, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling. As the bus drove on, I realized something was wrong. The streets were deserted, the buildings looked abandoned, and the usual city lights were nowhere to be seen. It was as if the bus was driving through a ghost town. I checked my watch. It was past midnight, but not late enough to justify this level of desertion. Suddenly, the bus stopped. The driver turned to face me, his face a mirror image of the man from the station. "Welcome," he said, his voice a raspy whisper that seemed to echo through the empty bus, "to your final destination." Panic surged through me. I tried to stand, but my body felt heavy, as if pinned to the seat. The driver's grin widened, his eyes gleaming with a malevolent light. The bus doors creaked open, revealing a dark, desolate landscape that seemed to stretch on forever. "Where are we?" I managed to ask, my voice barely a whisper. The driver chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down my spine. "You're on the last bus to terror," he said, "and there's no going back." The doors closed with a finality that made my heart sink. The bus started moving again, driving deeper into the darkness. I looked out the window, but there was nothing to see, just an endless expanse of black. I was trapped, a passenger on a journey I never wanted to take, heading towards a destination I feared to reach. As the bus rolled on, I couldn't help but wonder what horrors awaited me. The driver's words echoed in my mind, a chilling reminder of my fate. "Welcome to your final destination." I was on the last bus to terror, and there was no turning back. The bus rolled on through the endless night, the engine a low, steady growl that seemed to resonate with my growing dread. I tried to keep track of time, but my watch had stopped, the hands frozen at the moment the bus had pulled away from the station. It was as if time itself had been left behind, replaced by an eternal, oppressive darkness. Suddenly, the bus came to a halt. The driver turned to me, his eyes burning like embers in the dim light. "We're here," he rasped, his voice filled with a grim finality. The doors creaked open, revealing a narrow, winding path leading into a dense, fog-laden forest. The trees were bare, their branches twisted and gnarled like skeletal fingers. I stepped off the bus, my legs shaking. The air was cold, biting, and the silence was deafening, broken only by the distant hoot of an owl. The bus doors slammed shut behind me, and with a low rumble, the vehicle disappeared into the night, leaving me alone in the eerie stillness. I had no choice but to follow the path. The fog grew thicker with each step, clinging to my skin like a cold, damp shroud. Shadows danced at the edges of my vision, and I could swear I heard whispers in the wind, ghostly voices urging me to turn back. But there was nowhere to turn back to. I was trapped, a pawn in some twisted game I didn't understand. As I walked, I began to notice strange things in the forest. The trees seemed to shift, their branches reaching out as if to grab me. Carvings appeared on the trunks, symbols that seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. I recognized none of them, but they filled me with a deep, primal fear.